We're live. Live from a remote location. We're at Jen's house. Hey, listen, I got something you guys want. I've seen a lot of requests for this. Listen up. Wait a minute.
Vengeance.
If what you've told me is true, you will have gained my trust. Motherfucker! 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 English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Wait the motherfucker! English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Motherfucker!
Oh, I didn't found it.
I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. Motherfucking. Well, I'm a mushroom cloud laying motherfucker. I'm still alive, motherfucker!
Oh, I didn't find it. I owned it. I owned it when Shamim was still around. I have it. Y'all know how to get hold of me. I'm not saying what I'm going to do with it, but I have it. Whoa. Forgot to put the disclaimer, not for children. This video is not for children. Yeah, that was Shamim's Max. And I bought that off saberfont.com when it was still up there. Hey, Maker Channel. So really quick, I was watching Birchie's, that's Hex Sabers live video this weekend, and he was talking about tools out there and also safety third. And it kind of gave me a guilty conscience. I went back and I was looking at a lot of my videos, and especially my blade building video. And when I was hollowing out the blade tip, I was holding the Dremel really close to my shirt. Hey, Michael, Maker Channel, Max, Rich, Revicark, Cole Withers, Chestbone. Hey, everybody. But at any rate, I was watching my video, and I was holding that Dremel really close to my sweatshirt, and it was a hooded sweatshirt with strings hanging off of it. And I was like, wow, not safe. And, safety third. And the first is personal responsibility, and the second is common sense, and third is safety. Yeah, and Jeff is a safety guy for the railroads, and I'm sure Jeff has watched my videos and been like, wow, Tom, bad example. And I'm sorry. I did set a bad example in some of those videos on safety. But I'll try to be better and make sure that I don't do that anymore. That'll make Birch happy. I need to set a good example. I'm out there putting these videos out there, and I know some people are using them, but certainly if you're using a Dremel, you shouldn't be wearing a hoodie sweatshirt with strings hanging off it. Hey, Montreal Scott, and you certainly shouldn't be holding the Dremel close to your clothes where it can get tangled up in your clothes. That's bad. And you should always be wearing eye, hearing protection and a face mask. But that was an instance in my blade building video where I was not taking personal responsibility for my safety, and I was not using good common sense, and it made it to a final cut of one of my videos. Juan Carlos Guardia, what's going on? I saw you on the Alaska Vader live video, and that was cool to see you there. It was cool to see Jake go live again. Oh yeah, you can tell I am not in my house. If I was in my house, there would be Star Wars stuff back here. We're at Jen's. It's all girly. Oh, I just got a dirty look from Jen. Jen's gonna deshuevalo for those of y'all that speak Spanish. Y'all can figure that out. But Juan Carlos knows what it means. Yeah, but at any rate, yeah, thinking about a lot of things Birch said about safety third. We all need to take personal responsibility and use common sense when we're building these lightsabers. And certainly a lot of the things in my videos have not made Juan Carlos said, greets Jen, stay safe. Don't be around Tom. Don't deshuevalo him. Mm. It was a long day. Um, this insanity is still going on, and I pray for everybody's safety during all this weird, strange times our world is living in now, making life complicated. Uh, it's still hard to source neopixels. Oh, Montreal Scott said hello too from Maryland. Hello. Oh yeah, they're from all over the world here. Hello. You got people watching from Australia. That's nice. Max. Max is down under. It's morning in Australia, and then Max, what time is it? Maker channel. We don't use safety. We use the force. Oh, that's awesome. Sydney. What time is it, Max, in Sydney? 9:36 Tuesday morning. Max is already awake. Are you still in pajamas, though? I bet Max is in pajamas. He's always in pajamas. Rich is in Texas. So it's what, 6:30 in Texas? Everything's bigger in Texas. Are your lightsaber blades bigger in Texas? Do y'all make 40-inch blades or 42-inch blades down there in Texas? Are the lightsabers bigger around, like you can't even get your hand around the hilt down there in Texas? Michael Dallin, Tennessee, awesome. I got a lot of family in Tennessee. The Maker channel's in Washington State. That's pretty cool. Hey, the Maker channel, I watch a lot of your videos, by the way. Lots of cool stuff on the Maker channel's channel if y'all haven't been there. Good stuff. Rich said, yeah, everything's bigger in Texas. Oh, Ultra Sabers are here. Oh, Lord have mercy. That's not nice. 13 Lakes in Tennessee. That's awesome, 13 Lake. Did you MH1 extension pieces? Hasn't been easy. Hopefully Hexx Sabers channel will be back up on his Etsy store so we can get those MHS chassis from him, because those are awesome. Yeah. Don't follow Megtooth Sith on the Dremel. Megtooth Sith was not safe. Iowa. Jetta's from Iowa. I think that's our first watcher from Iowa. That's one of my retirement options. There's a lot of people in my line of work that retire in Iowa for whatever reason. And of course, Juan Carlos Guardias from Mexico. Viva Mexico! Yeah, we're coming up on Cinco de Mayo too. Yeah, Max is down there in Australia. You know what the funny thing is everybody thinks they're unique in all these states and even countries in the Americas, like Juan Carlos. And then there's Max. He's down there isolated down under. Max can't even get different colored wires down there in Australia. Poor Max. No, it's good to live in the Americas, right, Juan? But at any rate, man, I was hoping that I'm gonna have to let that one through. YouTube didn't want to let that one through, Juan. I'm not gonna yell it. You're okay. Poor Max. He's down there isolated, down under. 22 AWG from Powerworks, and it came today. Well, what do you think, Rich? Pretty thin, isn't it? It's thinner than 28 gauge PVC. And everyone's got their opinions about wires, and everyone likes their own different kind of wires. And man, I love the PTFE from Powerworks. I know. It is so awesome. It is so narrow. The 22 gauge from Powerworks, which is PTFE, is the same outside dimension as 28 gauge, PVC wire. So when y'all hear, the Canuck, the false Canuck talking about PVC wire on his video. He loves PVC wire. Yeah, you deal with that thickness. Sam's Club. Montreal Scott up there, and we're getting a lot of reports, and I really don't want to talk about the microbiology, but we're getting a lot of reports where I work, and especially from doctors. And as long as you're washing your hands regularly, you should be okay. I would, wash your hands and not touch anybody, not shake hands. I don't even know that I'd do an elbow bump right now. Just wash your hands. Yep, I use 30 gauge PTFE on my speakers. Yeah, it's not quite so bad here in North Carolina, Montreal. There's some of the bigger cities in Montreal, it's bad. The bigger cities here in North Carolina is bad, but it's not quite as bad as it is up in New York and New Jersey. I'll be glad when all this is over. So yeah, prayers to all you up there in Maryland, Montreal. There was something else I want to talk about. Oh, I finished the bathroom. So on Sunday, which was yesterday, I actually installed the toilet in the new bathroom. I actually got the floors in, the trim done, installed the toilet, and I don't poop. Jennifer knows that. I don't poop. But I did grace the toilet with my presence upon the throne. Ella's looking at me and rolling her eyes right now. She's really mad.
Why would you say that on your live?
Because it's a brand new toilet. You got to break in the brand new toilet.
You don't have to say that you don't poop, but you do.
I don't poop, Ella. But Ella farts really loud.
Oh my god!
I'm glad, Fernando. And even up where you live, Fernando, I'm kind of worried about you. You're up there in a population center. You need to be being very careful. Warren Carlos, the exchange rate comes and goes. Oh, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do a video before and after pics of the bathroom. Uh-oh, Jeff Birch is in the house. Yo, hoser. He called me a hoser. Oh, Lord have mercy. Did you get a bidet? I did not get a bidet. Save a ton on TP. I bet you have a bidet. That's that Canuck in you. Jen, are you going to get a bidet? I have family in, Jen, what's the name of that town south of Nashville? Murfreesboro. Most of my family's in Murfreesboro. Yeah. Well, Fernando, it's been good that you've been isolated because you've been working on a lot of stuff. Juan Carlos says, yeah, but Jen smells like roses. So, yeah. Hashtag nerd up, everybody. Hashtag bidet up. Hey, Birchie, you missed my safety speech, safety third. And I was talking about how people should not emulate me. And, I've been watching your videos. And, if everybody doesn't know, Birch works, he's a safety guy for the railroad. And I know Birch watches my videos and is like, oh my God, what's he doing? Look at what he's doing on video. He's emulating bad behavior. And I did not take personal responsibility or use, let me get my fingers up there. Did not take personal responsibility or use common sense in regards to my safety. Yeah. And I shouldn't have posted those videos because it showed bad stuff on those videos in regards to my safety. And I'm sorry, Jeff. I will be better about safety third in my videos, and I'm sorry. Yeah, it was bad. So after you were talking about that, number one, I know about safety third, but I went back and watched my blade building video. At the end of my blade building video, I'm hollowing out a tip with a Dremel. And the Dremel was really close to my clothing, and I'm wearing a hooded sweatshirt with strings hanging down. And I was watching that video and cringing, going, wow, that wasn't safe. Yeah, I saw that video where Adam Savage was cleaning off his lathe with a piece of cloth, and a cloth got wrapped up in the lathe, and he almost tore his finger off. If y'all didn't see that video, you should watch it. I do wear safety glasses. I am always scared about my eyes. One thing that I haven't done is I've never protected my ears, and that's certainly bitten me. Uh, y'all, for those of y'all that know what I do for a living, if you don't, I'm a police officer, so I fired guns a lot, and I also played bagpipes. Between the guns and the bagpipes, and before I was a police officer, I was building houses and nail guns and hammers and skill saws, and never wore hearing protection. And now, when I have to go to my annual physical every year, and they put you in that booth, when they put you in that sound booth, and you have to press the button when you hear a noise, like it's like a beep, 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 and it gets fainter. Yeah. I got in that booth, and the nurse came in there, and she was like, did you hear anything? And I'm like, nope. And she's checking my headphones, and she's like, let's try it again. And they turned it on, and I heard beep, and I hit the button once, and that was the last thing I heard. And then 15 minutes later, she came in there and was like, think you got a problem. Hey, Corbin, I love your father. I think your father is a hero for what he does in his current job and what he did in his past life. And I have a lot of admiration for him. And Corbin, you are the man. If you're the spawn of Jeff Birch, you're in good shape. He'll keep you safe. Yeah. So my hearing is massively impaired, and I do have hearing aids, but my current earpiece is malfunctioning, and Jen's really mad at me. She wants me to get my earpiece fixed. But yeah, I need hearing aids. Yeah, Jeff is awesome. Yeah, I banter back and forth with Jeff and talk about his pronunciation of profi and make fun of him, call him Canadian. But the funny thing is, Jeff and I are both from the same state. My dad is from Missouri, and I know Jeff is from Missouri, and he lives out in California, and he calls the profi. He can call it profi if he wants to, because he's pretty cool.
It's Missouri.
But it's profi. Yeah, my family's from Missouri. If I call it Missouri, down there in the boot heel, Jeff. I don't know if I ever told you that or not. But my family's from Pemiscot County, Missouri, down there on the Mississippi River. And I took Jen and Ella there, and Jen and Ella were just dumbfounded at the massive amount of population in Pemiscot County, Missouri. In fact, we went to Caruthersville. Nothing was open. What did Max say?
And Dollar General.
I'm trying to catch up with everything you guys are reading. So what else, Jeff? What other tools did you not get to in your video the other day?
Yeah.
The Mo Wanker. What tools didn't you get to in your video that you think people need? XX Sabers. I know you were making fun of me about the multimeter, but I think people need a multimeter to build lightsabers. But what else? And of course, Jeff and I disagree on wire. Jeff is a fan of PVC wire. I'm a fan of PTFE, and you know, Profi in the dental realm is a teeth cleaning term. What does it mean in the dental realm? That's scary. What does it mean in the dental world? Oh yeah, caliper. A caliper's good. You know, if you got a weird lightsaber and you want to measure the inside diameter to get a chassis that works for it, a caliper definitely comes in handy. And you can't buy these chassis from Goth and all the other 3D makers unless you have a caliper to measure the inside diameter of your hilt. Imagination. Profi is teeth cleaning and the prevention of periodontal disease and tooth decay. Small files, I have files. Boatload of switches in all sizes and types, yeah, I have all those. And that's more into parts. I kind of agree. You know, there's something, Jeff, that, oh Lord, 13 Lake, pronounce him Profi too. He's a Canuck. 13 Lake, you must be secretly from Canada, like Birch. Aluminum black is awesome. I agree with you, Birch. If anybody has ever seen my videos about my Star Killer sabers, a lot of the weathering that I did on my Star Killers was with Casey's Birch aluminum black. Good stuff. No, Jeff. I mean, I know you kind of had to cut yourself off there the other day because your time was running out. You're trying to stick to your time limit. No, I wanted to hear what you had to say. I've got one tool that you didn't mention that I have, and I liked your reverse tweezers. Those were pretty cool. And by the way, I need to get your Amazon list. But Electrum Kylo style, haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna go look at it. It's Birchwood Casey's Aluminum Black Max. It's how you weather aluminum. It actually gives us kind of like a smoked, looks like it's burnt weathering on aluminum. It's really cool stuff. And if you go too far with it, you can sand it off and start again. It's pretty cool stuff. Probably what I'm going to do to the dark sabers. By the way, I have two dark sabers from Solo's Hold, including the blades, which will be NeoPixel dark saber blades from Solo's Hold, coming to me. And those will be very, very, very expensive lightsabers, but they'll pretty much be uh, top of the list as far as yeah. I went big on that, Jeff, because I figured they were going to be worth a lot of money, especially installed. I think those sabers are going to go for 2,000 or 3,000 each, and that's a huge investment that I made in those sabers. So I'm really hoping they work out. Anything from Solo's Hold is going to work out from Nerfworks Labs. Those guys are incredible. Don't let that go to your heads, Nerfworks Labs. But they're good. Jeff, but the one tool that you didn't mention that I wanted to mention here was forceps. I use all size of forceps, and you know, you can use them to pull wires through the hilt. You can use them to help you with the helping hands. And Jeff doesn't have a comment about Solo's Hold. But forceps are pretty much a tool that They're awesome. You can't put a heat stain on aluminum. You can only put a heat stain on, stainless steel and steel. Uh, the only way to heat stain aluminum is with paint. Lightsaber chopsticks. What are lightsaber chopsticks, Rich? Oh yeah, paint. Yeah, so in my to build queue, which is coming up, I have a Phoenix Props Ben Solo saber, and the emitter is aluminum, and I need to paint heat stain on it. And I really wish they'd have made that emitter out of stainless. Not only that, that Phoenix Props, the light, was a pretty big letdown. I paid a lot for that hilt, and the hilt finish was rough. It's not shiny like they showed in their pictures, and I almost backed out of their Star Killer run because I was so disappointed in the finish of the Phoenix Props, the light. I was really disappointed in that hilt. The weathering the finish on that saber was crap. But I have refinished it. It's shiny now. And I'm going to install it, and I'm going to have to repaint that emitter to make it look heat stained. And then I'll install it, and I have an all brass goth chassis going in there. And then I'll put that saber for sale. So, but at any rate, so now that the bathroom is done and the toilet is installed and blessed, I'm really hoping that I can get back to building lightsabers. Yeah, you know what my issue is there, Jeff? I don't have. Ooh, I like that a lot. That is awesome. It reminds me of this, Jeff, and I know you like this hilt. Of course, this is the Dark Force Sabers Transcendence, and this is my daily beater. This is my favorite hilt for just taking out and swinging around. I love the Dark Force Sabers Transcendence. It's awesome. And man, I think Dark Force Sabers made a huge mistake not making a huge run of these. But this hilt is awesome. I don't know if you all have seen it, but the chassis is totally removable. And this one has Profi 1.5. This one also has Bluetooth in it. Awesome saber. Really loud, too. The acoustics in this thing.
Initializing. Completed.
Yeah, that's a really cool saber design. The soundboard I have in mine is a Profi 1.5. Yeah, I installed this one. This is Profi 1.5. I know Birch isn't going to like that, but I always leave a lot of extra wire. So if I got to change the speakers, this one also has a Bluetooth module in it, so you can control it with your cell phone. And this is the hilt that I use to whack my my heavy-duty NeoPixel blade against the tree in my NeoPixel blade videos. This saber is tough. Not only that, I've dropped this thing out of my truck. It's got all kind of scars on it. Man, I love this thing. This thing has been to hell and back, and it's still living. Profi 1.5. That Dark Sabers Transcendence hilt is probably one of my favorite hilts, and I built a lot of lightsabers. Yeah, I installed that one. Yeah, Birch, I always leave a lot of extra wire on my speaker, so the Profi or Profi is driving the speakers so hard, and we're blowing so many different kinds of speakers. I always try to leave a lot of extra wire on my speakers so I can pull the speaker out and replace it. Um, and that doesn't always look clean. So what I've done in the past is painted the wires black so they're less visible. Um, but I still leave a lot of extra speaker wire so I can replace them. Not ordering custom saber shop pieces with a pre-drilled recessed hole was a mistake. Are you talking about for your button, 13 Lake? You know, you can always send it back to them and have them drill a hole. Um, when you're building a MHS Saber, TCSS has some really, oh yeah. You can do a 12 millimeter hole for that if you have a drill press and a vise and a progressive drill bit. That's another thing Birch missed is I need to do a video about the tools that I have that Birch didn't cover. But a progressive drill bit is, and you can get them at Home Creepo or Lowe's or whatever, but you can actually mill that 12 millimeter hole into any of your pieces with that progressive drill bit. Those progressive drill bits are pretty awesome. You can even get some recess with it. Oh, he did mention that. Yeah, I mean a drill press. You know, if you're building lightsabers, you really need a drill press. Oh yeah, yeah. Those things are awesome. I'm probably going to order a bunch of them. Dimitri's pissed about that design, and you know, Dimitri was like, "Yeah, you guys are copying me," but they weren't copying him. Those are totally different LEDs, totally different from what Dimitri mounted, and they're arranged in a different pattern. You know, the general idea is the same, that you have LEDs included in the blade piece, but the bottom line was that to me those purple uh, things were totally different. Yeah, and a tap and die. I mean, I have tap and die sets too. You've got to be able to drill and tap retention screws. I know Birch talked about that in his video. You know, if you're doing an Ultra Sabers reinstall, Ultra Sabers never does a retention screw for their LED module, and you need to be able to drill and tap out retention screw for that LED module. Yeah, I guess I'm going to be ordering Osh Park stuff. At any rate, man, we had a good showing tonight. You know, 16, 17, 18, we've been holding pretty good audience all night long. Want to design and build one from scratch, but you still need more tools to do it right. You know, I'd really love a lathe and a mill, but I just don't have the money to pump out for that right now. So I'm stuck with my drill press, hand drill, and Dremel. But I've made a lot of cool stuff with my drill press, hand drill, and Dremel, and my chop saw with a metal cutting blade on it. That's what I cut all my shrouds with on birchwood. Really shit. If you'd have seen that, it's a good thing I didn't videotape what I did with that chop saw when I was cutting those chassis pieces for the. I don't have a recommended drill press. I mean, mine's a Craftsman. I don't even know if they make that anymore. Since Sears went out of business, Sears took a shit, but mine's a Craftsman. Yeah. So I took my miter saw, my chop saw, and I put a metal cutting blade on it, and chopping my angles with the chop saw, and then it melts the metal really bad, and you have to clean it up with a Dremel, and there's metal flying everywhere. I was wearing 2 safety glasses when I was doing that. Holy crap, it was dangerous. So Jeff, when you got your bandsaw and you started cutting your shroud with bandsaws, that's when I was like, you know, I need a bandsaw. And then Jen sitting over there, Jen got me a brand new bandsaw, but I haven't even taken it out of the box. Yeah, The bandsaw, I definitely want to get away from the chop saw because, oh my God, if you think I was dangerous with the Dremel, you should have seen me with that chop saw. It was, huh?
No more tools.
No more tools. Jen, what? Jen said I can't have no more
You
tools.
stop cutting all your fingers and hands.
Oh, Jen's, hey, Twisted Wizardry. Awesome to see you. Yeah, I need to get the bandsaw up and running to make my life a lot safer because Jen's griping that I'm always bleeding. Oh, yeah. I live on the edge. But the funny thing is, when I was making that nihilist saber, you had to cut those shrouds on an angle, and I didn't want to cut that with a Dremel. I mean, that's dangerous. Those Dremel cutting wheels with aluminum, especially the aluminum that's the depth of the shrouds from the custom saber shop. I've been in the ER and seen dudes with those flywheels in their forearms, where it broke and flew into their arm. So, I'm wearing safety glasses and a face shield when I'm using the cutting wheels. I mean, a drill press is a drill press, 13 Lake. I would think Harbor Freights is just fine for a home gamer. If you're doing commercial stuff with it, it's probably not going to be good. You want to check the reviews on it and see what the wander is on the bit. If they used a good bit holder, if they used a good chuck, and it doesn't have a lot of wander, then I'm sure it'll be fine. Just check the reviews on the amount of play in that chuck. Hey, Jen, what do you think about your man's bunch of sabers? They're asking you.
Whatever makes you happy, honey.
She said, whatever makes me happy.
Honey.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit in the eye with shavings. It's dangerous. You have to. Oh, yeah, I know. I have to make Princess Leia's saber next. And KR Sabers is coming out with one. But all that's a big secret. We're not even supposed to talk about it. I know. I love Jen. And speaking of Jen, you guys are great. And I love you. But it's time for me to go be with Jen. And I'm really hoping to get back into building lightsabers soon. And that's probably going to be happening along with another MyCom run. I think that's going to be happening pretty soon too. I like the Leia's hilt from The Rise of Skywalker. Oh, damn, Jennaru posted. Yeah, time for me to go be with Jen. And I stayed under the time limit for the Canucks. So all is well. And we got to add the Canucks video. Hey, we'll see you at Truth 1777. That's Mike. So we're going to be on a mission here. So I'm going to go be with Jen the rest of the night. And we're probably going to watch a Star Wars movie tonight. I got Jen up to the Attack of the Clones. So we're on episode 2. So we've already watched 4, 5, 6. She's seen Rogue One. And now we're getting ready to watch. We've already watched the episode 1. Now we're on episode 2. And I get her to 3 so we can get to TFA. So that's where we're at. So we got to get going. We got Star Wars stuff to watch. I love you all. Pray for you all. Keep safe. Don't go out in public and do crazy stuff. And if you're working on lightsabers, don't emulate me because I've done some unsafe things. Make sure you're wearing safety gear. Oh yeah, episode 2 does suck. I will say that. Except for Camino. Camino was good, Jeff. I mean, you got, the Camino stuff was good. But hey, everybody be careful. Y'all are all in my prayers. Everybody stay safe. And we'll see you next week. Hey, hit Ella with the little lightsaber I gave her. May the force be with you, or the dark side as it were. Peace, everybody.
What?
Peace.